Within the first 10 minutes of him examining me, he started touching my breast. Then he ends up giving me a prescription for 60 Oxy 80s.
Bitch, your phone ain't even on yet. You know what I mean? Bitch, you can't even call your mom and cry.
What's up, everybody? I'm Blessed and Free. Welcome back to another episode of DOC TV, and I got a special one for you guys today. So I've known this young lady, what has it been? About
2 years.
Her and her husband have a YouTube channel. I'm going to link those in the description of this video, so that way you guys are going to want to check it out, because once you hear these stories, this girl's got stories for days. Tell the people watching that don't know who you are, your name and where you're from.
Hey, my name is Jamie, and I am from Athens, Georgia.
All right. So, well, recently you've been blowing up on TikTok. You got, what's your highest viewed video?
Over 500,000.
If people don't know that have social media platforms, it's hard to grow on YouTube. It's hard to grow on a lot of platforms, because unless you're being vulnerable, unless you're putting yourself out there, telling people your flaws, the bad shit you've done in life, they're not going to want to listen, because people want to hear crazy. So what I'm going to do today is I'm going to bring you a story that is just that. Why don't you tell the people the story that blew up for you on TikTok about the doctor, and a little bit, what led up to that happening?
Yeah, sure. So basically, I was living in Snellville at the time. I got in a car accident. I was pill seeking and went to this doctor, and
right away pill seeking, or because of the accident you got put on pain pills?
No, I had a minor accident and got some whiplash.
Okay, I got you.
Used that to manipulate so that I could go to this doctor, because we knew he was one of these doctors around town that you could just go and he would give you a script. So I go to his office. Within 15 minutes of me being in the consult room, he started touching my breasts. And
what?
Yes, within 15 minutes.
Hold on. So he walks in the room. What? You're sitting up on some desk, right?
Sitting on one of those beds that they have.
What does he say to you?
He just starts feeling around. He's like, "Oh, okay." He starts feeling around my back, my neck, and then just starts touching my breasts. And I was so shocked. I was completely shocked.
What did you do when that happened?
I just kind of sat there. I didn't really know what to say, honestly. Yeah. It just threw me off. Totally threw me off. He didn't look like somebody. He didn't look like a creepy guy. He was
a regular looking dude.
Younger guy. Nice looking guy. He had his secretary was his girlfriend, and she was really pretty. You know what I mean?
So he was a sleazeball then.
Right, absolutely.
But at the same time, you're in a doctor's office, you're pill seeking.
Yes.
So was it going through your head at that time, well, he touched my breast, I'm a little uncomfortable, but I'm about to get 180 30s. So
it really didn't. I didn't really know what to say or what to expect, but I did know that this doctor was known for writing big scripts. So he actually ended up asking me to come back during their lunch break, because they closed down for lunch for an hour.
For another feel?
Golly. So he asked me to come back during lunch, and I did. And he gave me another script, so I ended up leaving there with 60 Oxy 80s and a bunch of perks and some muscle relaxers, some somas.
Yeah, the whole 9 yards. Mm-hmm. So for people that might not know, I did a live, and people like to know about addiction and family members that suffer. So what were your days like, if you could explain to the people, from the time you woke up to the time that you went to sleep, as far as a day in the life of somebody that, if I don't take this, I will be sick and I can't do anything else?
So basically, my whole entire day, waking up, just this cycle of obsession. How am I going to get more? Who am I going to lie to? Who am I going to cheat? Who am I going to manipulate? Who am I going to have sex with? Who am I going to steal from? What am I going to do to get some? And then when I got some, it was on to the next. How am I going to get more?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. So I know this is a personal question. What would you say, if you could pick one, was the craziest thing that happened to you when you were in your active addiction?
Okay. I have a really good one. So I have a lot of good ones. So I used to, when I lived in Tampa, Florida,
Hey.
I had a escort service. So I owned an escort service. I had a couple women, and I had this house, and the women would work, during the day at the house. And so I got a call.
Flipping tricks all day?
Yes,
Okay.
all day, right. And so I got a call to go to Tampa to this law office. And so this guy who's a divorce attorney and wanted me to come out there. And I go to I knock on the doors after hours, like 5 o'clock,
Yeah.
And he says, come in. And so I walk in, and this dude is literally on a desk, completely naked, on all fours, with a strap in his mouth, 2 straps.
You walked into 50 Shades of Grey live, in effect.
In effect. I had no idea. I mean, I talked to him on the phone, you know what I mean? But I was like...
And this guy's paying you to show up to,
Right.
just... So what is, I heard, my aunt worked for an escort service, and I've actually picked her up from jobs, so I don't talk to her anymore. But she would tell me, dudes would pay her, $500 just to sit there and rub their feet or let them rub her feet.
Yeah, all different requests. People would call me, and I remember the first time someone called me for what do they call it? Some kind of shower or something.
You pee on them?
Golden shower, right? And I'm like, what? You want to take a shower with me? They're like, no, a golden shower,
Bro, people got issues. All right, so let's get back to this story. You walk into this lawyer's office. You're there to show up for a job. You walk in.
Yes.
The dude's butt booty naked with a ball gag in his mouth. What are the next 2 steps that you make?
So he asked me to take one of the straps, because there's a long one and a short one. And so he wants me to take one of the straps, and he wants me to whip him with it. Right. So I did.
That's all he called you there for?
No.
Okay. Well, we don't got to go into any of that shit. Yeah. What would you say was the craziest escort job you showed up to? Would you say the guy naked with the ball gag?
That one was pretty crazy. It was kind of funny, you know what I mean? There was also this one guy that he was one of those, he liked women to dominate him, you know what I mean?
He was a bitch.
He would call me goddess, and he would be like, don't look
worship
at me, I'm
you.
dirty. Yeah, you know what I mean? And it was for a minute I kind of liked it, and I was like, oh, this is cool. This guy thinks I'm amazing.
He was your push button.
Right. And I didn't really have to do anything. They just wanted me to wear one of these strap-ons and kind of stand there and and he had this,
man.
well, it was a ritual they did. They did this weird, he did this weird ritual.
That community of people?
Right, yeah, that community of people.
I don't know that community.
So there's actually a lot of them, believe it or not.
That's scary.
There's a lot of them.
Yeah, definitely getting a security system on my house. As you're doing all this crazy shit, what was the main reason that made you go in and do those types of things? So what was the borderline issue?
So what had happened was I had some traumatic things happen. Okay, I had gotten in some trouble, had a bad relationship, had a miscarriage, and then I was sexually assaulted. Was
that what you told me when we were in Georgia?
By a group of men. This actually happened in Ybor City. So in Ybor City, after I got sexually, assaulted by these men, it wasn't the first time I had been sexually assaulted. And
what does that do to you?
It tears me up emotionally. It makes me feel ashamed, guilty. What did I do? What could I have done different? Why did this happen?
But you realize now that had nothing to do with you as a human.
Right.
That had to do with them.
With them, and where they were sick, and where they were lacking, and probably things with their upbringing,
Yeah.
After that happened, like I said, that wasn't the first time I had been sexually assaulted. And I was just like, I'm done with this.
Yeah.
The next time that I fuck a guy, I'm leaving when I want to leave, and I'm leaving with a pocket full of fucking money. And
now I see it.
That's why I started an escort service.
All right. So when you did do that, Was the purpose strictly then just to make money off of it?
Well, it was to make money, but it was also to support my drug habit.
All right, so let's talk about that, because a lot of people would look at you right now and say, there's no way this girl did some of the things she did. So explain to them your life as a drug addict and what are some of the crazy things that happen and the levels that your addiction took you to, other than like escorting, because it's not just about like I wrecked my car. It's not just about like I made a bad choice. Like internally, what was going on with you?
Basically, I was always trying to like fill a void. You know, I had an emptiness inside of me, and I was always trying to feel comfortable in my own skin, feel good enough, feel like I belonged somewhere, feeling accepted. And that is what drew me to drugs being my solution. Was when I use these substances, they make me feel confident, funny, charming. People like me. I belong somewhere. I'm accepted.
No anxiety.
Right. No anxiety. Yes. And so
you self-medicated.
Yes, exactly. Self-medicated. I started very young. You know, I started in high school doing just regular stuff, right? We're just smoking a little weed. We're just drinking some wine coolers. We're just taking some acid, watching Austin Powers, having fun, right? We're just going to go to a rave and dance and have fun and take some ecstasy. No big deal, right? But it didn't stay there. If my addiction would have stayed there, it would have been amazing.
And see, that's the difference that I think, you know, it goes with normal people and addicts. And the two will never understand each other, because I would say 90% of the people that went to high school, grew up, you know, did exactly what you did. They went out and raved with their friends. Maybe they smoked a little weed here. Maybe they snorted a line of coke. But when they do that, they don't have that addict in them. So they can put it down with no problem. Right. When it comes to people like me and you, if I go do a rail, I want an 8-ball, and then I need Xanax for when I want to come down, and I might do some heroin too, because then that'll kind of level all of it out. And that's the difference between an addict and somebody that is not an addict that can just put shit down.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That's me. I tell people all the time, like, I would love to drink a glass of wine. Well, I think that would be great if I could just have one drink. If I could drink a glass of wine, that'd be cool. But when I drink a glass of wine, I like to do cocaine.
Yeah. It's like it's like a one after the other. Right. And it's so hard. And nowadays, these drugs aren't even drugs. Like, you do a Xanax, next thing you know, you're dead.
Exactly.
So it's scary. So, well, I know you're out in the street. I know you are actually, this girl is talking the talk and walking the walk. She's out doing fundraisers. She does massage therapy for people that are addicts. You do a lot of stuff in your community. So, you know, I salute you for doing that. Why don't you tell the people a little bit about what you do?
So in my recovery, when I had about 18 months sober, I really started to figure out that there was a girl inside of me that deserved everything in life that she ever wanted. Yeah. And so I started to go after it. And I put away all the distractions. I put away the boyfriends, the dating, the silliness, the drama, everything, you know, at 18 months sober.
For that time.
And I said, I know for beyond a shadow of a doubt, I can do anything that I want to do.
Yeah.
And so I started going after my dreams, you know, and I became a massage therapist. And then I started working with the Georgia Council on Substance Abuse, and I applied to be a peer specialist for addictive disease. And I thought, you know, two things I love so much are recovery and massage. So I put them together, and I created this whole protocol called recovery massage, where I get to work with people who have trauma and who have struggled with addiction, and people who are coming out of human trafficking and prostitution, and I can work on them, relapse prevention, you know, helping people, especially in early recovery. You know, you come to me for 30 minutes and you want to go out there and get high, and I can change your day like that, you know, just by massage, using essential oils, using acupressure points, using music frequency.
Can you pencil me in?
Yeah.
Okay, I'll check with your secretary and let me know about that.
Absolutely.
Well, I just wanted to let you know, I'm proud of who you are since I met you and your husband. I think you guys are both good people. Her husband and her have had YouTube channels for a while. They were still learning everything. You see the message. This girl's really helping people. So if you want to support Real, you should support her YouTube channel. Why don't you go ahead and tell them how they can find you on YouTube?
You can search Jamie Tall on YouTube. That's JamieTall. And simple, short, easy.
Yeah, I'll put a link to her YouTube in the description of this video. I'm glad I could bring you on the channel. And if you fuck with me, fuck with Jamie. So go subscribe to her channel. But before you do that, make sure you subscribe to this channel. And with that, it's DOC TV, and we're out.